For decades, comic books have thrilled us with tales of superhumans. Superman, with his incredible strength and ability to fly. Spider-Man, gifted with agility and web-slinging skills. These characters, born from imagination, always seem firmly rooted in fantasy. But what if science could turn fiction into reality? What if we could rewrite the very code of life, our genes, to unlock extraordinary abilities? Scientists are exploring the possibility of manipulating genes to enhance human capabilities. Imagine a world with increased strength, sharper minds, and resistance to diseases. This is the tantalizing promise of genetic engineering, but it's a promise that comes with profound questions. So let's dive into the world of supergenes, explore the revolutionary technology of gene editing, and confront the ethical dilemmas that await us. Imagine a vast library filled with instruction manuals. Each manual, a gene, holds the code for building and maintaining a living organism. These genes, made up of DNA, determine everything from the color of your eyes to your susceptibility to certain diseases. For centuries, this code of life remained largely a mystery. But in recent decades, scientists have made remarkable strides in understanding and manipulating this genetic blueprint. We've begun to decipher the language of genes, learning how they interact and influence our traits. This knowledge has opened up unprecedented possibilities for treating diseases and even enhancing human capabilities. If our genes are the software that runs our bodies, then gene editing is like having the ability to rewrite that software. In the next section, we'll delve into the groundbreaking technology that's making all of this possible. CRISPR. It sounds like something out of a science fiction movie, but it's very real. This revolutionary gene editing tool has taken the scientific world by storm, offering unprecedented precision in manipulating the building blocks of life. Imagine a pair of molecular scissors guided by a sat-nav that can precisely cut and paste sections of DNA. That's essentially what CRISPR does. Scientists can now target specific genes with pinpoint accuracy, correcting genetic defects that cause diseases like cystic fibrosis, sickle cell anemia, and muscular dystrophy. The potential benefits of CRISPR are staggering. Clinical trials are already underway, testing the effectiveness of CRISPR-based therapies for various diseases with promising results. But CRISPR's applications extend far beyond treating diseases. However, this newfound power over our genetic code comes with significant ethical considerations that we must carefully consider. The ability to edit our genetic blueprint is a profound responsibility, one that raises complex ethical questions. Imagine a world where parents can choose the traits of their children, selecting everything from eye color to intelligence. This raises concerns about genetic inequality and the potential for discrimination. What happens when only the wealthy can afford genetic enhancements? Will we create a society divided between the genetically enhanced and the unenhanced? Furthermore, there are concerns about unintended consequences. Altering the human germline, the genes passed down to future generations, could have unforeseen and potentially irreversible effects. The ethical debate surrounding gene editing is complex and multifaceted. The power to edit the very essence of life, to rewrite the genetic code that makes us who we are, is a responsibility that weighs heavily on humanity's shoulders. As we venture further into the realm of gene editing, we find ourselves walking a tightrope between groundbreaking advancements and profound ethical dilemmas. The question is not just whether we can edit genes, but whether we should. One of the most pressing concerns is the potential for genetic enhancement. Imagine a world where parents can choose their children's traits like options on a menu, selecting for intelligence, athleticism, or even physical appearance. This raises the specter of a new era of eugenics, where societal values dictate desirable traits, potentially leading to discrimination and exacerbating existing inequalities. The debate surrounding gene editing is not about halting scientific progress, but about ensuring its responsible and ethical application. In the delicate ecosystem of life, even the smallest change can have ripple effects that reverberate far and wide. This principle, often referred to as the butterfly effect, takes on new significance in the age of gene editing. One concern is the potential for ecological disruption. Genetically modified organisms, if released into the wild, could outcompete their natural counterparts, leading to a loss of biodiversity and unforeseen ecological imbalances. Moreover, the pursuit of genetic enhancement could inadvertently create new forms of inequality and social division. Access to gene editing technologies, at least initially, is likely to be limited by cost and availability, potentially widening the gap between the haves and have-nots. The pursuit of scientific progress must be tempered with a deep sense of responsibility and a commitment to safeguarding the well-being of all life on Earth. The dawn of gene editing marks a pivotal moment in human history, a time for profound reflection and global conversation. This is not a debate that can be confined to scientific circles or limited to national borders. We need to establish clear ethical guidelines and regulations for the development and application of gene editing technologies. This includes setting limits on genetic enhancement, ensuring equitable access to potential benefits, and establishing mechanisms for monitoring and addressing unintended consequences. This conversation must be guided by principles of transparency, inclusivity, and accountability. By engaging in thoughtful and informed discussions, we can harness the power of these transformative technologies for the betterment of humanity and our planet. The stakes are high, but the potential rewards are immeasurable. Imagine a world where children are no longer born with cystic fibrosis, where sickle cell anemia becomes a distant memory and the threat of Huntington's disease fades away. This is the tantalizing promise of gene editing, a future where genetic diseases, those cruel twists of fate written in our DNA, no longer dictate the course of human lives. CRISPR, with its remarkable precision, offers a beacon of hope for millions affected by inherited diseases. Scientists are already making significant strides in using CRISPR to correct genetic defects in laboratory settings, paving the way for revolutionary treatments. Imagine replacing faulty genes with healthy ones, effectively curing diseases at their root. Gene editing offers a chance to rewrite the very script of these diseases, offering not just treatment, but the possibility of a cure. The path from laboratory to clinic is fraught with challenges, but the early successes of CRISPR-based therapies have ignited a spark of optimism in the medical community. While the prospect of eradicating genetic diseases is a noble and compelling goal, gene editing's potential extends far beyond the realm of therapy. Some scientists envision a future where this technology could be used to enhance human capabilities, pushing the boundaries of what we consider humanly possible. Imagine athletes with enhanced muscle mass and recovery, soldiers with increased stamina and resilience, or pilots with sharper reflexes and enhanced night vision. These scenarios, once relegated to the realm of science fiction, are now being considered as potential applications of gene editing technology. As we grapple with the potential of gene editing to reshape human capabilities, we must proceed with caution, engaging in thoughtful and inclusive discussions about the kind of future we want to create. The concept of supergenes, once confined to the pages of comic books, is now being explored in scientific laboratories. Imagine a world where individuals possess enhanced cognitive abilities, enabling them to process information faster, learn new languages with ease, or make groundbreaking scientific discoveries. Picture a future where humans have increased longevity and resistance to diseases, living longer, healthier lives. This vision of a genetically enhanced future raises profound questions about the very definition of what it means to be human. Would we still be ourselves if our fundamental capabilities were altered? Would we risk losing something essential to the human experience in our pursuit of enhanced abilities? While the potential benefits of supergenes are enticing, we must proceed with caution, ensuring that these technologies are used responsibly and ethically, with a focus on benefiting all of humanity, not just a select few. The future of humanity may very well depend on the choices we make today. A world divided, the specter of genetic inequality, the potential for gene editing to exacerbate existing social inequalities is a sobering thought. Imagine a world where the wealthy can afford to enhance their children's intelligence, athleticism, and even physical appearance, while those less fortunate remain bound by the limits of their natural genetic lottery. This scenario, once relegated to dystopian science fiction, could become a stark reality if we fail to address the ethical dimensions of this powerful technology. Gene editing, with its potential to enhance human capabilities, could further widen this gap, creating a society stratified not just by wealth and opportunity, but also by genetic advantage. We must proactively address these issues, ensuring that the benefits of gene editing are shared equitably, and that this technology does not become a tool for widening the already yawning gap between the haves and have-nots. The promise of gene editing is immense, but it is a promise that must be tempered with a deep sense of responsibility and a commitment to social justice. Evolution at warp speed, unforeseen consequences of designer humans. Gene editing can accelerate evolution, allowing us to manipulate life and alter human evolution. Even well-intentioned interventions can have unintended and irreversible consequences. Altering one gene could have ripple effects, leading to unexpected outcomes. Widespread gene editing could reduce genetic diversity, making us more vulnerable. The future of humanity depends on our wisdom and humility in the face of life's complexities. Guardians of the genome, charting a course for ethical gene editing. We stand on the threshold of a new era in genetic engineering. The choices we make today will shape the future of humanity. This is not a responsibility we can afford to take lightly. It demands a collective effort to align with our shared values. Establishing clear ethical guidelines is crucial. These guidelines should address informed consent and equitable access. They should also monitor and address unintended consequences. We need open and transparent dialogues about gene editing. Bridging the gap between scientific advancements and public understanding is essential. Ensuring the public is well informed about gene editing is vital. The journey into gene editing will be fraught with challenges. By embracing collaboration and transparency, we can harness this technology for the betterment of humanity. The future is ours to shape, and the choices we make today will determine the legacy we leave for generations to come. The dawn of a new era, embracing the promise and peril of gene editing. We stand at a crossroads in human history, a moment of profound possibility and uncertainty. Gene editing, spearheaded by CRISPR, holds the potential to eradicate genetic diseases and reshape life. But this power comes with a sobering responsibility. Imagine a world where children no longer inherit debilitating diseases. Picture a future where lifespans are extended. But we must not allow our enthusiasm to overshadow the potential perils. Gene editing raises profound ethical questions. The journey ahead will be fraught with challenges, but it is a journey we must undertake with courage. The future unwritten, our shared responsibility in the age of supergenes. The future of gene editing is not predetermined. It is a future we are actively shaping through our choices, our actions, and our willingness to engage in thoughtful and inclusive dialogue. This is not a responsibility that can be shouldered by scientists alone. It demands a collective effort involving ethicists, policymakers, religious leaders, and the public at large. We must foster open and transparent conversations about the ethical implications of gene editing, ensuring that diverse voices are heard and that the potential benefits and risks are carefully weighed. We need to establish robust regulatory frameworks that promote responsible innovation while safeguarding against unintended consequences. And we must ensure equitable access to the benefits of gene editing, preventing a future where these technologies exacerbate existing social inequalities. The age of gene editing presents us with a profound opportunity to reshape the human story, to alleviate suffering, and to unlock new frontiers of human potential. But it also confronts us with a sobering responsibility, a call to act with wisdom, compassion, and a deep respect for the sanctity of life. The choices we make today will determine the legacy we leave for generations to come. Let us strive to ensure that this legacy is one of progress, equality, and a shared commitment to the well-being of all life on Earth. The future is unwritten, but one thing is certain: the story of gene editing is just beginning, and it is a story that we will write together.